Peace, family. Peace, family. Just sitting here gathering my thoughts, get my thoughts together here. Man, the first thing I want to say is that, man, I'm in a really good place, as I hope that you all are. You know what I'm in a good place about? I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place because my grandmom said it years ago. She said when you're 30, your 20s, you play around. Your 30s, getting life together and trying to nail some things down. 40s, you start grinding a little bit. But in your 50s, that's when you start to live. You start to understand just a little bit how true that is. Life is actually beautiful. And you know what the most beautiful thing about it is? When you get your life right. When you take off the mask. The Fugees had a song. M to the A to the S to the K. Put the mask up on your face so you can make the next day. Let me say that again. M to the A to the S to the K. I think it was take the makeup off your face or pick the mask up off your face so you can make the next day. There's so many people wearing masks. So many people wearing masks. Emotional mask. Cosmetic mask. And they're hiding behind this stuff. I have no mask. What you see is what it is. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. When you can walk around with no mask on, whether you 600 pounds, or whether you 200 pounds, 100 pounds, when you have no mask on, it's a beautiful process. And people will hate you for that too. How is they 400 pounds walking around dressed like that? That person got some self-esteem. Something that you may be lacking. Just saying. But I have no mask on. And I spent years developing and getting myself together. Taking on from relationships and dating was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, honestly. Because when you don't know who you are, or you're just trying to figure it out, you should not bring anyone into your life. When you don't know who you are, you haven't developed, you have no goals, you have nothing set for yourself. There is such a thing as if you meet someone on that level as you're both growing or you both are evolving. That's a good thing too, because you're going to evolve together. But I see so many people who get in relationships or relationships that may fall apart because this person has put the work in, right? And this person here is like, they just here, just a regular, just no goals, no nothing, just here, existing. Some people call it NPCs. Shout out to Zaza Ali about that one. NPCs. And again, shout out to Zaza Ali. Non-playable characters. And I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Because there are a lot of non-playable characters walking around. But this person here has goals, they want to go to the next level in their life. And as they start to evolve, it starts going like this. So that's why I definitely don't encourage people getting in relationships until you at least figure it out. Or to at least have a sense of direction of where you're going. Like the Wiz. It was I call it the white Wiz. It was a white Wiz and a black Wiz. Talking about the movie. I think The Wizard of Oz was, I think the white Wiz, and then the Wiz was the Michael Jackson one. That's how I distinguish them through my life. The white Wiz and the black Wiz. Two different movies. But I think in the white Wiz, I still need to watch that movie. I really need to get that add that to my collection. But it was a statement. It was a statement that someone made in that movie, and it was like, I think Dorothy asked somebody, and they said like, "Well, where are you going?" And somebody, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Really, think of how many people who don't know where they're going in life. It's very unfortunate. So many people get stuck in relationships that are not reciprocal. Love and things are not being reciprocated between two people. You know, not good. Because what happened is it could be a separation, especially in the season that we're in now. You know. And sipping on my coffee. Chick-fil-A got some really good coffee, by the way. Seriously. I had a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, this coffee's good. But anyway, shout out to Chick-fil-A too. But yeah, you have to know where you're going in life before you attach to something. Or your life could be, it just takes one relationship, one situation that could mess people up. And I definitely don't, believe in being promiscuous due to soul ties and things like that. Giving yourself to the wrong people, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It can jam you up spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're on the same playing field, I don't advocate to lay down with anyone that you're not an equal match spiritually, and definitely spiritually, because of the soul ties and things like that. Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, I'm just kind of throwing some thoughts out there. Just some things. I was just sitting by the water and looking at the fountain. It's really nice over there. But yeah, another thought that I have too, random thoughts. Don't invest in people who are not willing to invest in themselves. That's another one. Don't invest in people who are not willing to invest in themselves. I know a lot of times we want to carry people and we believe the best for people. We believe in them and we want them to make it. But what happens if they don't make it? They don't want to make it. You can't go but so far. Let me tell you a situation, right? So I pulled up at this convenience store. It was a local 7-Eleven, right? And I seen this guy, right? And every time a car would pull up at the gas station, you know what I'm saying, he would go out there and have a bucket. Hey, can I wash your windows for $2? Whatever. He charged him. And sometimes he got sales, sometimes he didn't. And then I was like, and so he asked me for money. And typically, I don't give loose money, especially to able-bodied people, men in particular. Yes, you got hustle. Sure, good for you. At least he's doing something. But then he asked me for money. I told him, I said, I don't usually give money like that. And he had this lady sitting right beside him, And then one day, I was like, he asked me for some money because I kind of went there. I kind of go there a lot sometimes once I finish up. And, sir, can I get $2, man? You need your, I said, no, but I said, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this $2 today. But I'm going to give you something more than this. Why don't you come to over here and let me connect you with a situation, a job, so you can make it. I'll tell you the people, you know what I'm saying? This is who you need to talk to. Where is it? It's right down the street. It's in walking distance. Oh, well, all that, And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You out here washing windows for $2 now. These people can put you on full time, and you ain't got to be out there. I told him to his face. Oh, yeah, I'm coming, man. I said, look, I'm giving you this money, you know what I'm saying, and just know this is spiritual stuff attached to this. I'm just letting you know. So anything come out of my mouth, I'm telling you, you don't adhere it, because you came to me about it, and I'm just telling you, I'm releasing this to you in good faith that you would do what you need to do, or judgment will be on you, period. You can't throw your pearls to swine, Period. Don't do it. I don't care. Do you think that guy showed up? Do you think he showed up? He could have got off the street, got a weekly paycheck, and did not even show up. Seen him again. He knew not to ask me. He seen the look in my eye. I said, hey, did you stop by? I already know he didn't. No, man, I just like to work for myself. So let's get this straight. Yeah, work for yourself is cool, whatever. I give much respect to you, those who do that. But here's a situation when you're at the bottom, yo, and you have an opportunity to come up, and the people willing to work with you based on whatever situation you got, you turn it down. I seen that same dude probably 3 days ago, maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago, on the same corner, asking for change. He seen me pull up, and he just looked at me. He tried not to look at me, but he looked, and I looked clean through him. Because here you see the person who tried to give you an opportunity and connect you with the right people, and you totally disregard it, but you still out here asking for change. Sad. Sad. Men have a responsibility to get up and to make things happen. I understand, and overstand the things that have been put in the roadblocks that have been put in our paths, to cause people to not want to get up. But as a man, innately, there are things built inside of you, of us. And this is no shade against the LGBT, or, I don't know the alphabet letters and all that. I gave up a long time ago. I respect all people. Do what you do. Yeah, hey, nothing to do with me. If you like what you like, go ahead. This ain't no ploy. I'm just speaking as a heterosexual male, period. That's all I'm saying. So respect to everybody and what you do. Just know that's your choice. Had nothing to do with me. And that's what I'm saying. But I will say, as a man, you have an obligation to get up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's serious. When things are not going, God gave us the ability, the Most High gave us the ability to be hunters and fishermen and to get out here and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I look at these young boys out here, $600 telephones, texting. Text. Look, I'm still texting like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just rolling off with the text. But can't even change a flat tire. You can text. But when somebody said, can you sweep a floor? You don't even know how to use a broom properly. I get it, you haven't been shown. But if a male says, okay, I need you to sweep the floor. Well, I don't like the way he said that. What was supposed to say? Well, come on, Sonny, let's sweep the floor. Let's spread the broom. Not me. Say, not I said the horse. Not me. It's time to take the gloves off, yo. And it's time to be accountable and to walk into your accountability. To those of you who think God is pleased with you, I'm not the judge. But all I can say is if you're not using your abilities and your gifts and your talents that you've been born with, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening. God has given, and another thing, the Most High has given us a brain to process things. And this is no shade to those who are lacking any type of disability whatsoever. But we've been given brains to calculate, to figure, to comprehend, to analyze. Situations, so we can figure these things out. There's so many people who are not even, they're going with the herd mentality. Everybody say, go over there. Oh, go over there. But did you do your research before you decided to go over there? Did you really do your research? Yeah. You have to use your brain. for what the Most High is giving you, so you can make it. I think the scripture was talking about. I don't think, but the scripture says it talks about how the wide road, take ye the narrow road. See what I'm saying? But it's talking about the wide road leads to destruction. Take ye the narrow road, that there you will find life. There's so many people on the wide road, man, for real. So many people on the wide road. Respectfully, that's their choice to be on the wide road. Yes. You can be on the wide road. Go ahead. But just know, the scripture says the end of that road and what it would lead to. This conversation is for narrow-roaded people. People who chose the narrow road, not narrow-minded, but narrow road. The narrow road is not an easy road. It's not a bad one either, because it separates the wheat from the tare. So many of you have been on the wide road so long that when you see the narrow road people, then you think they strange, but not really. They narrow road. They on a narrow road. They ain't got no drama. They making it through. That wide road mentality, yeah, it's gonna lead somewhere. And I'm very thankful that I'm on the narrow road. I was on the wide road once myself. You know what I'm saying? There were times I couldn't figure it out. There's many, many, many nights that I slept and woke up. It's like, I think one of the guys said, long days, short nights. Yeah, I've had those days. And I'm so glad I'm free from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm free from any judgment. I am. I had a child taken from me for 24, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Falsely accused of touching her. Falsely. I'm never gonna forget it. Falsely accused. Not because the child said daddy did something to me. Not because daddy's motive was in question. Nah, man, the bitter mother did it. Not once, but twice. That's wide road stuff. Could have labeled me in this system, yo. I would never be able to be the same. That's the wide road mentality. And you put that child through that. It's crazy. But the truth will always come out. I thank the Most High in the heavens for this conversation with y'all today. I really do. I'm glad y'all watching. And you know what? Like this channel and subscribe to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to drop some stuff entrepreneurially, some stories, real life conversations that we're talking about. And I'm definitely going to be as much consistent as I can. I'm actually, like I said, I was writing a book, and I had like a writer's block for about maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, because I'm trying to get it finished. I got like 6 chapters to go. And so the energy has to be right. You can't just jump in a book, start writing. You know what I'm saying? Some days it come to you, some days it don't. But so that's why you haven't seen me, a couple of days taking off and stuff. But yeah, like and subscribe to this channel, because we'll talk about cooking, just different things for entrepreneurs in the food sector and stuff like that as well. Yeah, wide road. Yeah. So y'all, man, get on the narrow road. Break away from the wide road mentality. Really. There's so much on that wide road. And I know the world says one thing, but stay on the narrow road. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little lonely, absolutely, because there's not a lot of people who think like this at all. So yeah, people gonna look at you crazy. People gonna disregard. They're gonna feel a certain type of way because you don't think like everyone. And I definitely challenge everyone to go get the movie, The Matrix, especially part 1. Really, all 3. But part 1 is a masterpiece. And yeah, check and analyze that movie. So many lessons we can learn in these things, in these movies and things, the stories that it tells. But I want everybody to be good, and just know that I want everyone to be good. And I think I was mentioning too, You can't believe in people who don't believe in themselves. You know, they have to be able to want to get up and make it happen. You know, they have to. Like the dude at the gas station. Still on the corner to this day. Am I judging him? Absolutely not. Judge you not. You know, for you shall not be judged. For with judgment you meet, it should be measured and met unto you again. I don't judge anyone. But the tree shall be known by the fruit that it bears. That's it, that, yes it will. The tree shall be known by the fruit that it bears. So all y'all out there talking about folks, you know what I'm saying? Look at the fruit on the tree. That's what you do. That's the real test. Look at the fruit on the tree. Is that tree bearing good fruit? Or is it not bearing fruit at all? You know, if it's not bearing any fruit, why are you even listening to it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the time is here. The 25-year mark is up. I think most of y'all know what that's about. That's for real business. Because, yeah, and I live with that every day. That's the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Where, and these are random thoughts as well. Like, I have a child that was stripped from me, like literally. You know, that stings, especially to someone who loves and loved their own. You know, that is one of my thoughts. You know, I know our sisters go through that. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on with the absent fathers and stuff like that. You know, I was talking to a sister yesterday, and she was like, you know, hey, you know, we were just talking and stuff like that. And she was like, you know, I think I really messed up, you know, because she had to raise her children by herself, you know. And my heart goes out. And she was like, yeah, I have an 18-year-old who just doesn't know. And then I was like, you know, don't feel bad about it. I know, you know, from the nurturing perspective that that it could hurt, you know, because now as a mother, you see that you know, and this is to other women too, other sisters as well. You see where, you know, where they needed that male guidance, you know, and due to the system that we live in, there's been a lot of things done to remove the men out the house, you know, and so at this stage, I definitely come to know that you can have like two different type of families. You can have your biological family that is that you know your mother, your biological mother, your biological father. They come together, they have you or have a child, you know. And then you also have the spiritual side of that. You have spiritual fathers, spiritual mothers that can bring that gap in. So and that's a beautiful thing when you really let that sink in. There's like the two ways you can have. I'm sure there's more, but I'm just narrowed it down to two different scenarios where you can have you know, a family, whether it be spiritual or biological, you know. And for y'all sisters out there that see men that are of substance, and I'm not talking money and oh my God, he got a bag. No, not that conversation, but the conversation of a male that can step in and at least bridge the gap, and don't be afraid to let him step in and give some guidance. You know, take the training wheels off, one training wheel at a time. That's only if he's qualified. You know, and for y'all brothers, yo, let me tell you something. I definitely advocate for celibacy. I won't get into how long I've been celibate. Really. It's by choice, really, because of just a lot of things, spiritual ties, things like that. And plus, when you have vision, you can't just be with anyone. You know what I'm saying? No. I mean, yeah, I know in a good world, everybody want to get down and, you know, oh my God, it looks so good, drop it like it's hot. Not necessarily wise in this season, because what you don't know can cost you. You know what I'm saying? For real. And it's not nothing like worse than being in a relationship with someone who you're not compatible with. You know, and that's that. You know, but definitely be encouraged. Everything. People who don't believe in themselves, leave them behind. That's it, because they have to figure it out. You know, and I'll tell you one of the things that I'm learning too is this guy that I know, and yeah, and unfortunately, how can I say this? Good person, but you can have, and I'm not saying him in particular, but you can have grown men. I'm speaking for men, okay, because I'm a man. Women too, all over, however you want to put that in the category. You have grown people, there we go, that's a broad scope. You have grown people like 40s, 50s, still walk around like they're 16. 16 years old in conversation, um, just in a lot of ways, man, acting like young kids, and I'm not blaming them, but you can start seeing, whether they put the work in to reading a book, to it broadening their horizon, it's so much out here to see. It's so much out here to see, but they're acting young. And it's like, man, you could be married to one, you know, 40 years old with a 20-year-old conversation, you know. Shaka Khan, no, I ain't gonna say that. But I was thinking Shaka Khan said, I feel for you. Can't sing, by the way, but yeah, really, you know, but I'm in a good place today, right? Even though my daughter was stripped from me, yo, over lies, boy, all I can tell you is when the truth come out, yeah, can you handle it? Can you handle that truth? Because, man, man, look, I wanted to be there. Did everything in my power to be there. But I was forced out, falsely accused, And when I had nothing, I was homeless, riding a bike to work with one pedal, trying to 4 jobs to keep up. Couldn't keep up. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you want to see her, I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay for her. And then threw me in this system, and all of a sudden they put some numbers on this thing, man. Wow. Then you look at, how they are deadbeat, they ain't did it. Do you know the circumstance behind all that? That's the next thing. Most of y'all hear a story on the front end, and you don't even take time to dissect the back end. And that's where you're going to miss it. That's where you're going to miss it. I ain't talking about just that. I'm talking about anything. Whether it's a conversation about someone, get to know that person before you start judging them. You know what I'm saying? They might be totally not what you expected. I know me. I'm a very good catch. Intellectually, spiritually, mentally. I'm not on the wide road. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to promote anything in particular. But I'm saying that because I put the work in to develop. And it does come with a price. And I was single, a long time, like years. Because I worked on myself, man, for real. And